Vilabekin, the rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. Please do subscribe, because I got like, 60 subscribers when I get to 100. Yay. I'm making this video because I get these conversations a lot. Just like a lot. And so I think it's easier if I make a video, put forth my position, and I can just post it whenever I am in these conversations. So my premise right now is that the mainstream of the left wing of politics has been completely co-opted by anti-Semitism. Much more in England than in America, although America's heading that way. You got, was it Rashida Tlaib, AOC, and Ilhan Omar, all very clearly anti-Semitic and espousing, in AOC's case, not anti-Semitic, just espousing anti-Semitic views because she's an idiot. But in the UK, you got Jeremy Corbyn and Momentum, deeply anti-Semitic, and this is where I get in this conversation, because the people who support him just can't conceive of that being a reality at all. They just can't. It's like, no, it's impossible. It must be your brain has been twisted and turned by some evil force. No. Here's why Jews think he's anti-Semitic. Well, there's several levels of denial you have to normally get through. The first level of denial is they go, oh, Jews don't think he's anti-Semitic. Yeah, that's just a smear. And if they do, it's a smear. No. I challenge anybody who doesn't believe that Jews, en masse, well over 95%, believe Labour, that's the UK mainstream left-wing party, like the UK Democrats. They don't believe Labour is now institutionally anti-Semitic. They just don't believe it. They don't believe that Jews think that. I challenge anybody to go to any Jews and ask them, just go to any synagogue, any kosher restaurant, any kosher store, anyone, anywhere, and ask the Jews there. And I can say this without any fear whatsoever, because I know exactly what they're going to say. 95% of them will go, yes, obviously he's anti-Semitic because of all the anti-Semitic things he does. Okay, so then the next level of denial, which I get to, is, well, show me the proof. Show me the proof for his anti-Semitism. And here's the interesting part. Most people who say that don't have any idea what anti-Semitism is, and in general have a kind of like cartoon, caricatured view of what bigotry is. They always believe people who are racist are like cartoon characters, like they walked out of Tom and Jerry, and very obviously they don't believe they have any nuance or subtlety. This is the truth is most people need a reason to dislike and be angry at someone. They just are not like, oh, that his skin color's wrong. Ah! No, they people have reasons behind it, and merely because you have reasons behind it doesn't mean you're not a bigot. So, I found that most of these people who don't understand he's anti-Semitic don't know what anti-Semitism is. So I would say the prime example of anti-Semitism through the ages has been something called blood libels. And again, if you don't know what a blood libel is, you don't know what anti-Semitism is. That's anti-Semitism one-on-one. Blood libels is a story told to disparage and enrage non-Jews towards Jews, to make non-Jews feel Jews are disgusting and evil in some way. So back in the Middle Ages, it was blood libels. It was this thing called, they would say that Jews use Christian baby blood in their Passover ritual, killing the children, which of course is fictional. But I would say decent, moral, upstanding people were appalled by that because they believed it. They believed it completely, didn't question it. They burnt down Jewish homes and made them, killed them, beat them, and chased them from their towns. Today, you have people telling these people on the left things about how Israel is the primary identification of the Jewish nation in the world today. Anti-Semitism always attacks the primary identification of Judaism. And again, that is the state of Israel. They tell you Israel does terrible things. They tell them they are a Nazi fascist state, or they're an apartheid state. They abuse the Palestinians, and they're just like these terrible, evil people. And decent, good people, probably like somebody who's taken the time to watch this, watches it and goes, "Oh my God, I'm outraged," and they forward this message. Now, in both cases, I see no difference. You're both believing something that is fictional and refusing to listen to any of the overwhelming swathes of evidence that proves these points to be fictional. So what prompted this video? Somebody said that Israel was an apartheid state, just assuming that it was. I oppose Israel to be an apartheid state, which is a nonsense, utter nonsense. Yeah, you walk down any street in Israel, go to any mall, any cinema, any restaurant, any hotel, any hospital, you always see the same things: Jews and Arabs, Muslim, Christian Arabs living and working together. If you're a Jew and you don't like Arabs, you can't live in Israel. We're completely integrated. I am my son, my younger son, an active kid. They know him quite well in the emergency room, and there's 9 times out of 10, it's we have Arab doctors or Arab nurses, and again, because we're an integrated society, Arabs, Muslim, and Christians work in the military, in every facet of society, in the judiciary, on the Supreme Court, serving government. There's no apartness, so it can't be an apartheid state. It's a nonsense. Many people watching this will believe that Jewish soldiers randomly go roaming through Palestinian towns, firing their guns and shooting at children, beating people and intimidating them. You will completely believe that. I understand you believe that. But it's just the same way your ancestors believed that we use Christian baby blood. Again, what happens if a Jewish soldier, not an IDF soldier, because we have quite a lot of Druze serving in the IDF. If they fire their weapon and it results in a death, they are arrested and investigated, no matter what the circumstances, because we're going to be accused of the terrible things you accuse us of. And we're a country of laws, which we adhere to. I think somewhat too rigidly. There was a case, it was a couple of years ago, about a soldier who was imprisoned for what was called a wrongful death. To me, it seemed like it was the soldier was experiencing a clear and present danger. But and a lot of times you'll see protests about these incarcerations, and then the people who don't like Jews will say, will put those up and say, "See it, these racist Nazis, Jews! See how they want to just kill and maim the Palestinians!" And again, it's all utter nonsense. And I could go through literally every. That's why, generally speaking, these people talking generalities. And when they ever get them on specifics, they then get angry and leave you alone. They go away. So the question was, I'm talking much more to the British now. People do not believe this guy, Jeremy Corbyn, the leader of Labour, is anti-Semitic. Virtually all Jews do. And my primary reason for believing it, I got lots. He's given me lots of reasons, but my primary reason is that he is a peddler of blood libels. I think last year there was 97 deaths at the Gaza border. Now, what was going on there was, and I know this from firsthand. I was talking to people who were there firsthand. They called it a peaceful protest. It was actually a murderous Jew-hating mob that wanted to murder Jews. That's the reality that Hamas has raised. They took the population of Gaza, took thousands of them, ripped them up into a frenzy, and on their social media circulated maps on how to get to Jews to murder them. They have no ambiguity about wanting to murder me. They have no ambiguity about wanting to murder Jews and murder children because they're Jews. They say it very openly. And they're people like Jeremy Corbyn go, they don't mean it. Excuse me, I believe it. I believe it. And quite frankly, I don't trust you to protect me in any way, shape, or form. 6 million of us died when we lived by you. So you don't have so much believability. And I want to just take an aside here. I'm incredibly grateful to Britain and to America for standing against Hitler in World War II. I mean, it took incredible bravery and incredible sacrifice, and I will always love Britain for that. I mean, I will always love the royal family because of that. I mean, always. I will always love Winston Churchill who I know is very popular to denigrate nowadays. He saved the world. He saved the world. He stood up against everybody who wanted to appease Hitler and work with Hitler, and he said, "No, this is crazy." So I will. The British people who are watching, I will always love you because I always love Britain, and I think it's one of the shining lights of goodness in the world, and I think it's yeah, okay, no place is perfect, but I think its influence has been has been an overwhelming good. So yeah, I'm from England. I'm I wouldn't call myself patriotic, but I do. I recognise the sacrifice that Britain did and America did to stop the murder of Jews. I'm not angry. I'm not denigrating you. But you at the same time, you voted Jeremy Corbyn as your leader, and a lot of you become very, very vehemently anti-Semitic in his defence. So, so we had this like Jew-hating mob at the border who wanted to murder Jews. Now there are two lines of defence. There is the fence, and there is the army. And you had a riotous mob of people storming past the fence so they could murder Jews. There was again no ambiguity. That's what they wanted to do. So the army opened fire legally and morally, I would say as well. Not only morally, the 97% of the people killed were Hamas operatives. Again, that kind of level of accuracy is breathtaking. It's awe-inspiring, I'm sorry that anybody had to die. But really, it boils down to this, and this is really the nub of it. All the misery in the Palestinians, I won't say the Palestinians, in the Gazans' lives, all the misery in their lives, and there is a lot of misery in their lives, stems from them wanting to kill me. Them wanting to kill us because we're Jews. If they would just give up on that, their lives would be transformed overnight. Israel is a teeming economy, a bursting economy, especially in the tech industry, which they should be taking part of. Gaza should be a holiday destination, a Riviera, but it can't be because it's blockaded, because every piece of infrastructure they get, they then turn to murder Jews. My son has spent countless nights in air raid shelters because of the thousands and thousands of missiles built in Gaza fired at Jewish civilians, not military targets. Any Jew is a valid target to Hamas. By the way, same as anybody who's gay or bi or anybody. These people who you are so defensive of, like will murder you because you're gay, and they have done, and they will do. That's why I believe they're going to try and kill me, and they will kill me if I let them. And really, that's what it boils down to. After World War II, the Jews said never again, and everybody went, yes, of course, very good, very good. But stop and think what that means. Never again means we're not going to lay down and let you murder us, which is what I think Jeremy Corbyn wants. It's obviously what he wants because that's the only thing I think he would be satisfied if we would just lay down and let Hamas murder us. And we're not going to do that. We're not going to let you murder us ever again. We would rather do that peacefully. We'd rather do that with no doing up. We'd rather do that as friends. So much better that way. But it takes one of you to die to stop you murdering us. One of you is going to die. It takes 10 of you dying to stop you murdering us. Then 10 of you are going to die. If it takes 100 of you dying to stop you murdering us, then 100 of you will die. If it takes 1,000 or 10,000 or 1,000,000 or 6,000,000, that's going to happen to stop you murdering us. It's your choice. It's the Palestinians' choice. We could live in peace and harmony together if the Palestinians would just put down their arms. We would have peace tomorrow, and you know that, and I know that. We all know that. Jeremy, and you know who knows that? Jeremy Corbyn knows that. So why do I think Jeremy Corbyn's anti-Semitic? Because he doesn't treat Jews equally. He blamed Israel for the deaths on the Gaza border. He never blamed Hamas. He never blames Hamas when they fire their rockets, when he forces my children to sleep in bomb shelters. He never blames Hamas. He never criticizes Hamas when they launch balloons, incendiary balloons that torch hundreds of acres of crops. You probably never heard of that. Hundreds of acres of crops have been torched by them out of spite, because that's the only thing they could do to get to us. And these are the people you support. These are the people you defend. And these are the people who you venerate and you call us Nazis. You know, I'm sorry. Anti-Semitism is a very clearly defined. The definition of anti-Semitism is very clearly defined, and it gives ample opportunity to legitimately criticize the state of Israel. Ample opportunity. But if you can't work within that, then you're probably anti-Semitic. If somebody posts something online that denigrates Israel and you repost it, feeling that sense of moral righteousness in you, if you do that, most chances is you've done something anti-Semitic. So anti-Semitism is something clearly defined. If you don't want to be anti-Semitic, just look at. I would challenge you just to look at the definition, and if you don't care, I guess you don't care. Listen, the Germans were quite happy to embrace anti-Semitism just to have the trains run on time. So I guess the people supporting Jeremy Corbyn, he's offering you a socialist state. So I guess that's kind of a fair payoff, which many of you are more than willing to make. But we live in an age where I can call you an anti-Semite because you fit the definition. You are who you want to be. You are your life is what you make it to be. I urge you to make the right decisions. My name is Phila Beckin, the Rabbi from Another Planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell for when new videos drop. Thanks for listening.